Okay, we're back on the air with Thomas James, launching into the last half hour of his hour with us, and he's explained a lot of interesting things about the organization and business he's administrator director of, hempusa.org, and he's explained the properties a little bit of the many products that can be made from hemp, which is not to be confused with marijuana. And Thomas, looking through your website here, I can't help but ask, you had just said that you have to derive your products from the hemp crops grown in many provinces in Canada. They can't even be grown here, even though it's this staple item that could revolutionize food, clothing, shelter, and many businesses and challenge these monopolies in those areas. But just to kind of break it down into products, you have something called Lady Hemp Coffee, and I think you had mentioned...
Green Lady Hemp Coffee. It is probably, in my opinion, the best coffee I've ever tasted because it doesn't affect your body like coffee as everyone knows it around the world. It will not palpitate the heart. It will not make you jittery and nervous. It will calm you down on the inside and wake your brain up. It literally wakes you up on the creative side. And what it is we get our coffee from Guatemala. It's the largest number 18 AA bean in the world. It's grown at an elevation of almost 6,000 feet, so it's one of the largest beans. We bring it back to Canada. We medium roast it, and in that medium roast process, it releases over 1,000 bionutrients. And literally, in the last 3 years, it's found in medical journals that it has the highest antioxidants even over any fruit or vegetable. So the coffee bean is actually very good if it's organically or naturally grown, we should say, naturally grown. Shade tree grown, not push to push 3 or 4 pounds out of a plant a year, but just 1 pound. And it's not sun grown, it's shade tree grown, farmer friendly. And when you mix it, what we do is after we roast it, medium roast, we mix it with 25% hemp seed. Very specific process. We grind it together and then roast it again. So it's quite amazing. And 1 pound of our coffee will give you 225 cups, which comes out to about 15.5 cents for an extremely healthy cup of coffee.
Wow, that's amazing. What does it taste like compared to regular coffee you might get at, Starbucks?
It's a smoother, nuttier taste. It does taste like coffee, but it's not overpowering and bitter. It's just a wonderful taste. Now, look, everybody has different taste buds. There's 6.5 billion people, and everybody has different taste buds. But I'll tell you what, the customers that have bought this coffee fall in love with it. And they don't buy just 1 pound. They buy 5-pounders, 20-pounders. And there's a lot of restaurants selling it now. So it's a very positive coffee. It does not affect you like regular coffee. It does have regular caffeine, but everything that's released in this roasting process is extremely efficient and healthy for the body. And it will help the body throw off, disease. It literally keeps disease away from the body. So it's, as a coffee, I'd have to say it's an extremely incredible coffee.
I had to ask about that, being a coffee fan myself, like
coffee drinker. Okay.
So many millions of Americans. I guess reporters are sort of notorious for that. But that's great. Yeah, wake up the brain but calm the body. I like the sound of that. I'll have to try it sometime.
And it really does that, Mark. It really, really does that. Remember, the coffee bean was the first bean to be genetically modified back in the 50s.
Oh.
So if it's genetically modified back in the 50s, imagine all the chemicals in it. Why does a regular cup of coffee make your heart beat real fast for hours and days sometimes? Why does it make you jittery and nervous? It's not the caffeine. It's the other byproducts that are in it. Other products that are in it. It's the genetic modification. So how come you don't have that with our coffee? Because ours is naturally grown in pristine farms in volcanic soil on top of volcanic ash. And it is absolutely exhilarating, and you will love it. And I am not a coffee drinker, but I am now.
The stock stuff you didn't like, but this is a whole different ball game.
Every time I had a cup of the regular coffee, I couldn't take it. It made me jittery, nervous. My heart would beat erratically, and it wouldn't be for a short period. It would be for a long period of time. So I stayed away from coffee. And I know a lot of people have called me and told me that. Oh, my doctor doesn't want me to have coffee. Oh, I can't have coffee. Well, you can have this coffee, and you can enjoy it because it's natural. It's the way God is growing, allowing this to grow. And obviously, if it's growing and it's naturally grown, how can it be bad for the body? Right, Mark?
You would think so.